Have you ever wondered what really goes through a woman's mind when you suddenly disappear? Does she seem indifferent on the surface, or are there actually powerful waves of emotion swirling inside her? Let's explore this intriguing truth together, because it might be completely different from what you think. You've likely experienced a feeling of uncertainty in a relationship where all your efforts seem to fall into a void. You text her, show care, take her out for meals, shopping, give her gifts, yet all you get in return is indifference. Does this mean she doesn't love you? This is the time when you need to create some space. This strategic silence will help you see her true feelings and allow you to make the right decision for your relationship. Don't miss the interesting secrets about to be revealed. Like and subscribe to the channel now to explore this with us. When you become silent, do you wonder how she'll feel without you by her side? The Stoics believe that the key to happiness lies in controlling what we can and accepting what is beyond our control. The same applies to love. Sometimes letting go is the way to hold on to true happiness. In the silence of separation, don't rush to think that she's pining for you. Instead, her mind is busy analyzing your sudden change. From someone predictable, always readily available, you've suddenly become mysterious and hard to grasp. This difference sparks curiosity, making her wonder, have you decided to break free from the familiar routine? Dare to be true to yourself and become someone different. Don't mistake curiosity for desperation. She may be testing you, using the disappear and reappear tactic to gauge your reaction. Are you still weak, easily swayed like before? But this is the time for you to show the composure of a Stoic. Take control of your emotions, remain calm and independent. Don't let these psychological games manipulate you. Through confident silence, you assert your self-worth, showing her that you're no longer the easily controlled guy. And who knows, this newfound mystery and strength you exude might just make her change her perspective and even pursue you. I'm here to tell you this: it works entirely to your advantage and may turn the tide in this difficult situation. So when you suddenly disappear from her life, the first powerful emotion that arises is the feeling of rejection. Now let's face it, truth that everyone has experienced, but few dare to admit the pain of rejection. That feels like a cut to one's self-esteem, leaving us hurt and insecure. Imagine this: you stop pursuing her, not by gradually pulling away, but by completely vanishing without a word of explanation. One moment you are her whole world, the next you vanished like a ghost. The sense of control and confidence she once had such suddenly crumbles. It's like walking on a familiar path and suddenly falling into a chasm. She'll feel lost, confused, and anxious. Once the center of your attention, she now has to confront the nagging questions: what happened? Did I do something wrong? Why did he change? Her ego, once nurtured, is now deeply wounded. And this is only the beginning of a storm of emotions waiting to overwhelm her. That feeling of rejection seeps into her mind, stirring up deep sadness. At first, it might just be a slight pang of regret, a little disappointment, but it gradually grows into a lingering, persistent sadness. She recalls the sweet moments when the two of you were together, the loving words, the gestures of care. Now all of that is in the past, shattered fragments of a broken dream. The sadness makes her feel lonely, lost in the bustling stream of life. She questions herself, wondering what she did wrong and why the person she loved suddenly left. These questions echo in her mind, unanswered. At times she might try to push it all away, immerse herself in work or other distractions to forget the sadness. But when night falls and she is alone, the sorrow returns stronger than ever. Right now you hold the key to her emotions, but remain silent, because appearing too soon will prevent her from realizing your true value. The lingering sadness eventually transforms into a smoldering flame of anger. She begins to feel wronged, believing she doesn't deserve to be treated this way. How could he ignore me? How could he walk away from my life so easily? These questions dig deep into her pride, making her feel hurt and insulted. The anger flares up as a way to mask the pain, to protect her wounded ego. She might take out her frustration on the objects around her, or she might silently grit her teeth, suppressing her emotions. But whether she shows it outwardly or not, the anger is simmering inside her, like a volcano waiting to erupt. This anger isn't just directed at you, but also at herself. She blames herself for trusting too much, for giving her heart to someone unworthy. She wonders why she didn't see the signs earlier, why she let herself fall into this painful situation. The anger slowly fades, giving way to a more insidious feeling, shame. She starts to look back at herself, wondering if she had been too naive, too trusting in the other person's love. Had she missed the warning signs, the signals that the relationship was slowly falling apart? The feeling of shame makes her want to retreat, to hide from those around her. She fears facing curious glances, the gossip of others. What will they think of me? Will they see me as a failure in love? The shame also comes from realizing that she has lost sight of her own self-worth. She had placed too much expectation on the relationship and allowed love to dictate her life. Now that love has fallen apart, she feels like she has lost a part of herself. This sense of shame might make her withdraw, reluctant to open her heart to new people. However, it also presents an opportunity for her to reevaluate herself, to learn how to love and value herself more. While she is drowning in this emotional turmoil, this is the time for you to show your strength as a man and be a solid support for yourself by applying Stoic philosophy. Control your emotions. When you truly master your emotions, she will sense the positive change in you. She will realize that you are no longer the weak guy who constantly chases after her, but a mature, confident man with value. Both of you are facing the feeling of rejection, a difficult feeling, but one that brings profound lessons about love and life. This silence gives you the opportunity to reassess the relationship, to reflect on how you've loved and expressed your feelings. You realize that excessive pursuit and clinginess only cause you to lose your self-worth. Stoic philosophy reminds you that true happiness comes from inner freedom, from mastering your emotions and controlling what is within your power. Both of you, during this separation, are learning to let go of expectations and attachments to love. You are learning to accept reality, to accept what cannot be changed. You are learning to seek happiness from within through personal growth and living a meaningful life. This distance, though difficult, provides an opportunity for both to grow, to gain a clearer understanding of themselves and love. It becomes a stepping stone, allowing them to return to each other with a more mature, deeper love, or to move forward, stronger, on their own paths. When the chaotic emotions start to subside, a void appears in her heart. That space used to be filled by your presence through texts, calls, and dates. Now that you're no longer there, she begins to feel longing. At first, it may just be fleeting thoughts of you. She misses your smile, your voice, and the sweet memories you two shared. Gradually, those thoughts become more frequent, occupying her mind. She begins to feel curious about your life, wondering what you're doing, where you are, and what you're thinking. She might sneak a glance at your social media profiles, reread old messages, or look at the photos you took together. That curiosity eventually turns into deep longing. She misses the moments when you showed care and affection, the times you shared joy and sorrow together. And she misses the feeling of being loved and cherished. The more she misses you, the more she thinks about you. She starts analyzing the relationship, reflecting on her own mistakes. She wonders if she had been too hasty, too quick to anger. Is there still a chance for you both to get back together? This longing and reflection might drive her to reach out to you. Or perhaps she'll keep those feelings to herself, quietly waiting for a sign from you. After days of struggling with her feelings, missing you, and reflecting, she finally decides to reach out. It could be a casual message to check in, an invitation for coffee, or even just an emoji on social media. Whatever it is, this action shows that she genuinely cares about you and wants to reconnect. But ironically, when she finally takes the initiative, you're no longer the same as before. You don't rush to reply immediately, you're not eager to accept her invitations, and you don't openly show joy or longing. You are no longer as readily available to her as you once were. You're now busy with your own life, focusing on work, studies, personal growth, and pursuing your passions. You no longer dedicate all your time and energy to love as you did before. You want to give her time and space. You understand that she needs time to think, to reassess the relationship and her own feelings. You don't want to put pressure on her or rush her. You assert your own worth. You no longer want to be the person who constantly chases after her, always readily available when she needs. You want her to realize your value and understand that you're not an easy option. Whatever the reason, your unavailability will surely surprise her, maybe even disappoint her. She might wonder, why has he changed? Does he no longer care about me? However, this is also an opportunity for her to realize that you're no longer the easygoing guy who was always around. Recognizing the shift in her emotions, you must grasp the Stoic principle of letting go to focus on self-development and becoming a better version of yourself. Clinging is not the way to keep the flame of love alive. Only maturity and independence can truly attract and sustain it. Let go of control. When you stop trying to control her emotions or actions, you accept that she has the freedom to choose and make decisions in her life. You respect the space she needs and do not force or rush her to come back. Let go of expectations. You no longer place heavy expectations on the relationship. No longer expect her to reciprocate your feelings in a specific way. You learn to accept things as they are and appreciate what is happening in the present. Let go of the past. No longer letting the past dictate your present and future. You learn to forgive your own mistakes and hers, so that both of you can move forward with light hearts. Focus on the present. You spend your time and energy on things you can control: work, studies, hobbies, friendships, and family. You cultivate knowledge, skills, physical health, and nurture your soul. You live fully in each moment, enjoying the small joys in life. Build inner strength, cultivate patience, courage, and responsibility. Learn to face difficulties and challenges with calmness and optimism. Continuously strive to become a confident, independent, and valuable man. Your disappearance, along with the positive changes she senses in you, has sparked a strong curiosity in her. She begins to observe you from afar, quietly following your activities on social media, trying to learn about what you're doing and who you're spending time with. She realizes that you are no longer the guy she used to know. You have become more mature, more grounded, with clear goals in life. You no longer spend all your time and energy chasing after her, but instead focus on personal development and pursuing your passions. Even your small successes make her admire you and feel a bit jealous. She wonders, did I lose an amazing man? The more she looks into it, the more she recognizes your value, and the more she longs to have you back in her life. However, by this time you are a different man. You are fully aware of your own worth and are no longer easily swayed by fleeting emotions. You appreciate her feelings but aren't rushing back. You want to make sure both of you are ready for a more mature and sustainable relationship. You can show her your care in subtle ways but still maintain a certain distance. You give her time but not all your time. You listen to her but you don't agree with everything she says. You show her that you are an independent man with your own views and that you know what you want. This change in you will undoubtedly impress her. She'll realize that you are no longer the easygoing guy who was always available. You have become a man of high value, and she will need to make an effort to have you. This is when the power dynamic in the relationship begins to shift. You are no longer the pursuer, but the one being pursued. And that is the result of your adherence to the principle of letting go, focusing on self-development, and living by Stoic philosophy. And if this video has helped you better understand her psychology, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, and see you in the next video.